Welcome to my channel, Like-Minded. Today I have been called from my guides, from my higher self, to make this video. This video is about losing loved ones. I would like to share some of the experiences that I've had as far as healthy ways to grieve. And at the end, I'm going to be answering your Q&A. I am a medium, so I'm able to connect with spirits that have passed away. So it's my intention and it's my hope that this video helps you in your grieving process. So when it comes to grieving, guys, there's no instruction manual. I feel like a lot of times when you lose someone, you feel so alone. You know, people don't know what to say to you. Sometimes they feel awkward and uncomfortable. Death is just one of those things that people just don't feel comfortable talking about. So a lot of times, you know, you can feel lonely and you just experienced a loss. So I do want to point out that there is no wrong or right way to grieve. The grieving process is very unique to each person. So in my own experience, one thing that I find helpful is when you're grieving is to set time limits when you are sad, when you are needing to express, you know, big emotions. Maybe set a time of 30 minutes to an hour to cry, to eat ice cream, however you want to grieve during that time. I also think that it's very important to find healthy ways to release your emotions. Because no one wants to see you physically harm yourself in the process of grieving. So I'd like to share a few healthy ways to grieve from my experience. For me personally, it has been very helpful for me to go to the gym, to journal, to work. Some of us find it easier to actually work and focus on something opposed to staying at home and having a lot of downtime. Focusing on a hobby may be very helpful, and also spending time in nature. And when all else fails and your emotions are just washing over you, you could always take a nap. So I'm aware that everyone has a different belief when it comes to death, and I'm only sharing my experience with death and connecting with spirits and my guides' perspective. So my guides share with me that there's truly no death. Yes, we do lose our physical body. However, energy does not die, it transfers. My guides assure me that your loved one is not gone into a black hole. Your loved one is still here. My guides wanted to share that, you know, when you have a loved one pass away, their energy is still here because they're part of source. My guides also want me to share that at any moment that you want to speak to your loved one, you can speak to them out loud or in your head and they will hear your messages. You can also ask them for different signs so that you know and you can get confirmation that they're actually receiving your messages. So another thing that helped me through my grieving process was thinking about the good times, really being grateful for the memories that I shared with that special someone. So I completely understand to get to this point of, you know, expressing gratefulness, it takes time. You may not want to express gratefulness when your loved one has just passed away. So show yourself grace and give yourself time, because there's no time limit on grieving. You know, some people may grieve for a few months and feel fine, and then some people it's an ongoing process. I know for me, you know, it's an ongoing process. You know, there's good days, there's not so good days. I just strive to try to focus on the time that I had with that person and really cherish those memories, because the more that I connect with spirit, you know, I understand that your loved one does not want you to be sad, because they see you, they're at the celebrations, they're at the birthday parties, they're still experiencing, you know, all of these moments. It's just unfortunately we're not able to see them smile or, you know, see them experience that moment. Another thing that I find that is helpful when you are grieving is talking about it. If you choose to, if you feel comfortable, maybe talking to a close friend that you feel that you can trust, or better yet, seeing a therapist. I feel like therapy is very healing. It gives you a very safe space to process your feelings. You know, because everybody grieves differently. You know, you may want to just talk and express your feelings, and you may not want anyone to tell you how you should feel, you know, what you should think, how you should grieve. So I think that therapy provides that safe space to really process your feelings. So I know I touched on this at some point in the video, but really take time with your grieving process. There's no rush, there's no end time. It's not like, get over it, it's only been a year. So my apology, guys, I had some technical difficulties, but just to sum it up as far as the last point, just make sure you're not allowing anyone to rush you in the grieving process. You know, you take as long as you need. It's almost like a journey. It's, you know, some days there's good days and some days, you know, there's not. So I hope that that helps. So now on to the Q&A. I just have a few questions. If you guys have more questions, you can always comment below. So the first question is, how do I know if my past loved one is trying to communicate with me? So it's all about a feeling. Like sometimes people get pennies, they get feathers. It could be a song on the radio. It just depends. The thought of the person just pops in your head. That can be a sign in itself. So, you know, the thing is, spirits don't want to come through and they don't want to scare you. They don't want to turn on the lights and turn off the lights. They can do that, but they want to communicate with you in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Another question was, what is the easiest way to communicate with spirit? So I find one of the easiest way for people to communicate with spirit, if they're not in a meditative state, is when they're asleep. So you can always ask your loved one to visit you in your dreams. Another question that was asked is, what if me and my past loved one was on bad terms or not speaking? Once they pass, will they still be angry? From my experience, I would say no. Whenever they transition, they shed the ego, and at that point, they're love and they're light at that point. So I would say no, that they wouldn't have any harsh feelings towards you. So I hope that these messages helped. Please comment below if you guys have any more questions as far as my experience with communicating with spirits, or if you would like to specifically ask my guides for general questions in regards to spirits passing away. So I'm wishing you all love and light and healing, and till next time, guys.